Well, I'm so excited to have you here. This video is going to be reading only thrillers for a week. If you've watched some of my videos before, welcome back. If not, my name's Francesca and I love reading thriller books, so this video probably won't be too much of a challenge, but the amount of books I'm trying to get through will be. I'm going to choose each thriller book as I go based on recommendations I've had on booktube and BookTok already, and then I'm going to rank them as we go on a little thing here. If there's any other thriller books you'd like to see a review on, leave it in the comment and I can definitely include it in a future video. So getting straight into my wonderfully weird reviews, the first book we're going to start with is The Housemade Secret by Freida McFadden. I can't believe it's taken me until now to pick up this book because I have been so excited for it since I read the first Housemaid. I gave that book 5 stars. I do really like Freida McFadden's books. Some of them are to be questioned, but The Housemaid I thought was a really good one. So as far as I'm aware, this book follows on from the first one and it just continues on Millie's adventures as a housemaid and righting women who have been wronged. I've also been told by several people that this book is better than the first one, so I'll have to make up my own mind and I will let you guys know in the process. I will just say before I start it, I really hope Enzo features in this book. I really liked him. I don't know whether he does or he doesn't because I've been so hard trying to keep this spoiler free, but I'm so excited. First book, let's go. Prologue. Gotta love a prologue. I love it when books have a really exciting prologue. That was good. This book's going to be great. I can just tell. I just know. So last night I read up to page 120-ish of The Housemade Secret. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I can also understand why some people prefer it to the first one already, despite even just being like a third of the way through, because you know the character of Millie like so much better. I guess it's why people like fantasy trilogies and series, because the characters you kind of already know, but there's a few things that have happened in this book that would go over your head if you've not read the first one, but there is enough information that if you haven't read the first one you could still understand what's going on. But we love Millie. She is so badass, and despite being a little bit morally grey at times, I love her. Come on. Good boy. I promise that was not planned. Hello. This is my dog Cooper. Well, he's my parents' dog, but I love him. Hey buddy, you gonna say hi? We have a pal now. Also, I'm so bad at dog earing my pages, no pun intended. It's a really bad habit that I need to get into. I have all my bookmarks literally just on the side and I still don't use them. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry. So they're driving a red Hyundai and I've just bought a white Hyundai, so I'm feeling pretty like living vicariously right now. Hey buddy. So I'm now up to page 260. I got quite a bit read last night. I thought I was going to finish it, but then I just kind of fell asleep and didn't even mark the page. So this has taken an unexpected turn for me. Even though I've read the first Housemaid, know Freida's writing style, I still didn't expect the turn it's taken midway through the book. Which is definitely a good thing, and of course keeping this completely spoiler free. I think it was definitely a good change of pace because it was starting to slow down a little, so I'm really happy. Hopefully I can get this finished today and then I can start ranking our books. Just finished The Housemade Secret and oh my god, what a mic drop moment the ending was. Guys, if you're looking for a plot twist that you definitely won't see coming, this is the book for you. So my thoughts on this book are, I really liked it. I gave it a 4 star. I think I'm just comparing it to the first Housemaid, which I feel like I preferred more. If not, I feel like I would have rated it slightly higher. Freida McFadden's writing is just so easy to read. Like, I just read this book without even realising I was reading, and then it always gives you a satisfying plot twist at the end. I am just a fan. Don't get me wrong, I know these books aren't the most complex. They're definitely not the most character driven, but I just really like them. I just eat them up every time. So that's book 1 completed. It is a would recommend from me, and we will see where it compares to the other thrillers I'm going to read. Book 2, let's go. Okay, so the next book I'm going to read is called Those People Next Door. It's by Kia Abdullah, and the reason I'm reading this one next is because I have a book club on Thursday, which is 3 days away, and I haven't read the book for it yet. So this is an author that I haven't read anything from yet, but I'm really glad this was the book club pick because I really wanted to try this author for a while, so it's meant to be. So I don't know too much about this book, but as far as I'm aware, the premise is that a young family move to a new neighbourhood and there kind of just starts a rivalry between their next door neighbour. I think it's a bit of an ethical and political rivalry, but I literally don't know any more than that, so I'm excited to find out, and I hope that this is going to be another good thriller. I'm going to start this one now because I have a little bit of free time and I'm kind of excited to dive into it, so I will let you know how it goes. So I've managed to read about 100 pages. I am really enjoying this book so far. It seems very, as anticipated, ethical and political. There doesn't seem to be any like major unaliving themes yet. That does not mean it's not going to be good. What I love about this book so far is the writing is absolutely amazing and the characters are developed within themselves. Like, I can just tell that this is a really good author. So yeah, I already know when we check out more of this author's books. So let's talk about it. The first half of this book was very slow to start. It was a lot of he said, she said. You didn't really know where this was going or how bad it was going to get. It was just kind of ticking along. In turn though, that did really start to build suspense. I think you knew these characters so well by the halfway mark that the author did do a good job on that. Then into the second half, it really started to get good. I mean, the pace just picked up immediately. It was like the small things at the start of this book that these neighbours were quarrelling over were just so insignificant by the second half of the book, and it just really took hold. If you like suspense and you like legal thrillers, this book would be an absolute knockout for you. I really did like it, but my preference in thriller books is fast-paced, loads of plot twists, and slightly more popcorn thriller, I hate to say, but just like more fast-paced and just quick from the get-go. I also do want to point out there's a lot of issues of race in this book, so if that's something that's going to upset you, then I definitely would stay clear. However, for me, this was so wonderfully represented. I even learned things in this book that I didn't know before. I would definitely recommend it. So I gave Those People Next Door a 4-star, which is the same rating as I gave The Housemade Secret earlier in the video, so I'm now going to compare them. So on one hand, you have a shorter popcorn thriller that has twists throughout and is very gripping. And on the other hand, you have a definitely more thought out, thought-provoking book where the characters are definitely more developed and bigger issues are tackled. I'm not quite sure how I can give these books the same rating as they are so different, but that is the problem with only having 1 to 5 stars. They were equally as good in my eyes, but for completely different reasons. It's finally time. So John Miles has sent me a copy of his brand new thriller book, which isn't out until February. So even when this video is posted, it still won't be out. I am so excited to read it. I honestly just should have started with this book because this was the one I really wanted to read the most, but there we go. He's also signed it. John Mars, you really look after me. Thank you so much for sending me this. So of course, with how excited I've been for this book to come out, I've definitely read the synopsis and I have a good idea of what this is about. So daughter Connie goes to her widowed mum's house and she has received help through a charity from a stranger called Paul for like at-home help and some sort of care. But Connie is just absolutely convinced that this guy is not who he says he is. These like weird things keep happening and she's determined to try and prove it. That is all I know about the book so far, but I know that other early readers of this have said like, obviously there is way more to it than that, as there always is in John Mars books. So I'm gonna dive in now and I'm gonna let you know as soon as I know. Just have a feeling this is gonna be a 5. I don't know how. I just know. Oh my god, are you kidding me? John Mars, are you kidding me? So I'm now up to page about 280-ish of 400. And this is incredible. I was reading the first 70 to 80 pages and I just thought there's going to be something coming, because I feel like I now know the way John Mars writes is, instead of it being like a major, like massive plot twist at the end of the book, there's like mini, like smaller plot twists throughout the book. Sometimes there's a big one at the end too, but he always twists his way throughout the whole plot. So got to the end of part 1 and I was like literally mind blown. I just don't know how this author comes up with these things. I really don't. It's just incredible. I will caveat though, this book is absolutely twisted. Like, it is. Like, if you've read What Lies Between Us or Keep It in the Family by the same author, you will know how insane his characters are and his plots are, and this absolutely matches that vibe. So I've got about a third of the book left. I'll probably get this finished tonight and then I can give you a full review. I've come to Costa to finish the last bit of The Stranger in a House and I am so excited. This book has taken turns I did not think were possible in a book. This is a Christmas special sticky toffee. That's it. I've had to come back to the car to tell you guys what I thought of this. It was incredible. The ending absolutely popped off. I feel like this is one of the only books I've read where everyone kind of got what they deserved in the end. However, there was one massive twist, as there tends to be in these books, that I did not guess and kind of changed the way I thought about the book a bit, but I really liked it. This is definitely one you should put on your list for 2024. So a rating. If you compare this book to other thriller books, it's absolutely up there in the best type of thriller books category. However, if I compare it to other John Marrs books, I don't think this is his best book. I absolutely loved it, but I think What Lies Between Us set the bar so high for me in terms of continuous plot twists that I think anyone would ever struggle to write a book that gripped me more than that one. But it is one of my more preferred John Marrs books. So I've read, I think maybe 5 of his books. I think this is probably on a level with Keep It in the Family for me. So absolutely brilliant. I did rate Keep It in the Family a 4, but if we're comparing this to The Housemade Secret and Those People Next Door that I've previously read in this video, then it's definitely a higher rating than those. So I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I think that's absolutely fair because this book absolutely did keep me gripped. And I think the characters were so well developed. I don't think John Marrs could have done anything more for me to like this book more. I feel like I just preferred plots of other books, if that makes sense. This book does touch on a couple of mental health issues, so I feel like that's always a bit of a, not a trigger, but just something that makes me a bit dubious about rating a book really high, because although the description of it all is done really well, I just don't tend to favour plots that are built around that. So the 3 books that I've read so far have all been psychological thrillers, and they've all been rated 4-star above, which I'm so happy at because it means that you guys can take these reviews and read books that I've personally recommended. We're going to move on to my 4th and final book of this video, and hopefully I can squeeze it in before the end of the week. So before we dive into our 4th and final book of the video, I'm going to rank the first 3 that we've read. So The Housemade Secret came in at a 4, as did Those People Next Door, but both for very different reasons. Then we've got The Stranger in Her House with a 4.5, so technically this is my favourite book so far. Out of these 2, although I rated them both a 4, I'm going to have to go with The Housemade Secret as my second favourite of the video, and then Those People Next Door. So the final book I'm going to try and squeeze in this week is The Last Thing to Burn by Will Dean. This book is literally so short, like, it's really, really short. I think 240 pages, but I've seen an uncountable amount of 5-star reviews for this, so it must be good. But I feel like it's such a skill for an author to pack such a good story into such a short book, so I will be the judge of that. So this is a book. This is a bit of a captive story. So as far as I'm aware, it's a guy who has his wife or partner or whatever locked in the cellar of like a big farmhouse. It's a bit of a kidnapping story by the sounds of it. So I don't really know much more than that. I've said in previous videos, I don't tend to read the synopsis at all, and I try and get as like little information about this book as possible before I actually start reading it. Just prefer the element of surprise, but I will let you know what I think. Anyway, okay, so I had such high hopes for this one. I'm still yet to find anybody who hasn't rated this book really, really highly. However, it just did not hit the mark for me. So it's more of a story as opposed to a thriller. So it follows the journey of 2 young sisters who have come over from Vietnam to the UK with the promise of a better life, and basically they've got here and been completely like tricked. So our main protagonist Jane, whose name isn't actually really Jane, has been living / being held hostage at this guy called Len's house, and has been kind of forced to just play the role of his wife, even though it's all against her will. And it's more just like her story, and it's told from her point of view, and there wasn't really like a plot twist thriller ending. I liked it, I just didn't love it. So as a thriller, I gave this a 3. It's good and it's very well written, don't get me wrong. I'll check out more of this author's writing. But just as like a suspense novel, it's probably a 4.5, and I understand why everybody loves it because it was very gripping and very tense. So would I recommend it? Yes, only if you know all that going in and don't have a very different expectation for it. So we did it. I read 4 books in a week, and this is how I'm going to rank them. So we've already discussed my favourite book of the 4 was The Stranger in Her House, and then The Housemade Secret by Frida McFadden. Can't really go wrong with Frida. Then The People Next Door by Kia Abdullah, and then The Last Thing to Burn by Will Dean. So that would be my order of preference of the books that I've read this week. However, you've had my full detailed review, so you know if you're going to like them or if these books are for you or not. If you've read any of these books already, do let me know in the comments. I'd love to see your opinions as well. And if you want more good thriller book recommendations, I'll link the perfect video for you here. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.